Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Jonhatan Cardoso won a 10-round unanimous decision over Eduardo Ramirez, veteran, but he had to really work for it. Cardoso came in with 17 wins, one defeat, which was a first-round blowout, which can happen, I suppose. You just get caught cold. That was back in 2022 to a guy called Juan Harates. And since then, he's gone on a winning run again, regrouped. He's only 25, so, you get blown away. It can happen. It can happen. He's from Brazil, 25 years old. We're talking lightweights here. And Eduardo Ramirez came in, like I say, as the veteran, the older man. He's 31 now. He's had a tough career. He's got 28 wins with 13 KOs. This was his fifth defeat. He's only been stopped once, and that was a blowout by Isaac Cruz, Pitbull. That was back in 2022. But I first became aware of Ramirez when he fought Lee Selby it was supposed to be at featherweight. It was a defense of Selby's IBF featherweight title. And Ramirez didn't make the weight, so he didn't have a chance of winning the title. And he never reached the summit. He never became a world champion, but he is a very good gatekeeper type who will give you a round. He's a very tough guy, Mexican, southpaw, 5'7", standard, I suppose, for a lightweight, maybe, yeah, average height for a lightweight, I suppose. And his previous fight, he lost to Mark Magsayo. That was a unanimous 10-round decision. That was earlier this year as well. So he's had these two tough matchups. And to be honest with you, I think Magsayo handled Ramirez a lot easier than Cardoso did, because Cardoso has talent, quite clearly. I mean, the cards, I think two were 96, 94, one was 97, 93. That sounded about right to me. I wasn't scoring it as I went along, actually, as I was watching it. But Cardoso has talent. He just, I don't know, the jury is still out at world level. And I'm not talking about that one-round blowout, because, like I say, that can happen. At times, he looks really, really good. Bangs to the body very well. I like the body work from him a lot. And Ramirez, to his credit, soaked it up and was right there at the end. He did lose that last round quite wide, but despite the fact there was a clash of heads in the ninth round, which unzipped a cut over Ramirez's eye, maybe that had something to do with his rather, lukewarm effort in the final round. I don't know. But Cardoso boxes well. It's just that he's perhaps a little bit too patient at times. Now, he goes forward a lot, but he's not always throwing punches. He had his last fight was against Adam Lopez. That was a good fight. I think that was on Pro Box TV, just like this one was. Very good fight. And he won a split decision over Lopez, who another tough nut, And at 25, he's getting these rounds in, but you just get the feeling that with people like Lopez and Ramirez, if he's going to go to the very, very top, to that elite level, he should be handling these guys a little bit easier. Like I say, he's an orthodox fighter. Can jab well, but again, there were too many stretches of inactivity. Walks in a little bit too square on for my liking. Needs to be given more angles. Ramirez was actually the one giving the angles and sidestepping, and that sort of kept him in the fight, because he was looking like he looked the weight division smaller. I mean, Cardoso at 25 can lose the weight and make the weight easier, whereas Ramirez, who was a featherweight and has moved up, it was visible that he was smaller. But that's not to say he was necessarily physically weaker, if you know what I mean. He wasn't bullied by Cardoso. He actually landed a lot of his own punches and made this highly competitive. He has that gatekeeper air about him. And even though he's a veteran at 31, I think he could probably pick up paychecks, because he does fight his heart out and does have some skills and will ask questions of up-and-comers. For Cardoso, when he lets his hands go, very precise, very sort of textbook bit of boxing from the waist up, some nice straight punches. Again, I'd like to see the jab more. Did bang to the body very well again, but was it a case of him being a little bit too patient, or is it a case of him switching off maybe? I would like to see a little bit more of a consistent effort throughout the rounds. And also I want his feet are he's a little bit flat-footed at times. Again, it moves forward a lot of the time, most of the time, but a little bit too square on. Not much movement from the waist either. Not a great deal of feints. He's coming for you. I mean, he's got 15 KOs or stoppages in 18 wins, which is fair enough, you know. So maybe these last two fights where he's had to go 10 have been good for him. You know, prior to that, he was just splattering everyone in 3 or 4 rounds, which, okay, you know you got power, but are you learning anything? But this headlined the ProBox TV card, which, again, I've said this before, ProBox TV, I mean, the commentary team alone of Chris Algieri and Paulie Malignaggi is great. I really enjoy listening to those two guys. They know what they're talking about. They know what they're looking at, and they'll tell you, you know. And very often I'm watching it and I'm listening to them and I'm thinking, oh, yeah, I didn't notice that. That's what you want from a commentator. But they have very evenly matched fights. It's been a great year for ProBox TV, and I thoroughly recommend you dig them out. And next year, I think they're going to go from strength to strength, because this is a good little gig they got going. It's free and it's on YouTube. I mean, what more do you want, you know? And I would imagine they'll bring Jonhatan Cardoso back and continue with his career. Angelo Leo, by the way, fought on ProBox TV, and now he's a world champ. So they really do bring through some talented guys. And Eduardo Ramirez, I can see him coming back as well, because even though he's lost his last 2, you know, he's given everything, and he's good to watch. You know, he provides entertainment. He's not a maul. He don't grab and hold. He's crafty and he's sneaky, and he knows how to, you know, fiddle his way through rounds. But he lets his hands go. He'll try to win those rounds. He's not content to just, you know, do the time. He wants the reward at the end of it. So, yeah, go and have a look at this fight if you're interested. What do you think of Cardoso? I think the jury's still out. He's only 25. I'm not going to be too harsh on him. The raw materials are there. We need to see him string it together and do it consistently. But he's nowhere near ready for a world title fight. I think another 3 fights, 3 10-rounders will tell us a little bit more about where he's at. But let me know what you think of him if you've seen it, how far you think he can go. Thank you for listening in as usual. Please subscribe to the channel if you know, and hit the like button if you like the video, because we want to build the channel up. Many, many thanks. As always, looking forward to reading your comments, and bye for now.